Hey Dio, this is the Armchair Critic, and let's talk about Baskin Robbins. I don't know what psychologists call it, but there is this thing where I guess there's an official term for it, where you have like a mental connection to something, and you see a picture on the wall, and it automatically takes you to a mental imagery of something that connects to it. From now until the end of time, whenever someone mentions Baskin Robbins to me, I'm going to think of Ant-Man. And whenever someone mentions Ant-Man to me, I'm going to think of Baskin Robbins. This is not a good thing. I refer, of course, spoilers by the way, I refer, of course, to a scene in the new Ant-Man movie where Scott Lang, who becomes Ant-Man, takes a job. He's gotten out of prison. Takes a job at Baskin Robbins, and they don't hide this. The first scene, he walks up to the counter and says, "Hi, welcome to Baskin Robbins. How can I help you?" And he's talking to this idiot about, this idiot wants a hamburger. Well, it's Baskin Robbins. They don't have hamburgers. That's the joke. And then he's called into the office, and he's promptly fired because he didn't tell Baskin Robbins that he didn't tell Baskin Robbins. That's how the scene plays out. That he is fired because he didn't tell Baskin Robbins that he was in jail. He says, "How'd you know that?" He says, "Well, Baskin Robbins knows everything." Then he goes home, and his buddy says, he says, "You got fired." And his buddy says, "Why'd you get fired?" He says, "Well, Baskin Robbins found out I was in prison and didn't tell them." And he says, "Well, Baskin Robbins knows everything." It sounds like I'm harping on this, but it's a 5-10 minute scene in the middle of this movie. It has nothing to do with anything, but it's just strange. It's like, I don't know how to feel about it, because when I saw Sears in Man of Steel, that completely took me out of the movie in a bad way. This is played as a joke. And, I can deal with a movie, like, Lean on Me, with all the Pepsi machines in the background. And the original Superman, where the mother's walking around the house and puts the box of Cheerios in the sunlight. I can deal with all that. This scene, I don't know how to deal with it. It's just strange. It's like, it's dropped in. They tell the joke, and then they never bring it up again. It's not a running gag. I guess I could deal with it better if it were a running gag, but it's just, it's so strange, and I don't know how to feel about it. I understand commerce, art and commerce. You got to have the two. But this just seemed very misplaced. It was adding a story element, the idea that he can't find a job, and he'll do whatever he has to do to find a job. But it seemed like almost shoehorned in. We gotta pay for Baskin Robbins, and this is the way we're gonna do it. But anyway, that objection aside, Ant-Man is really good. I enjoyed it. I can't say I loved it. I can't say it was great, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. It feels like, now this is a character that I've said many times, no one was actually, you never heard anybody say, "Gee, I hope they make an Ant-Man movie." This was, I think, admirable because it was a risk. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy last year. Well, Guardians of the Galaxy was a lot better. That movie was on my 10 best list last year. This one just feels like more of a standard adventure. 3-act structure, standard characters, hero, villain. The villain wants to militarize the new Gizmo, and the kid is hired by a scientist to deal with this suit, which makes him smaller. Makes him almost microscopic. It's interesting. I like the world it creates, but it's not a great movie. It's very strange. It's almost like, well, we've made these big adventures. We made Captain America. We made Thor. We made Iron Man. We made Avengers. We made Guardians of the Galaxy. Now let's just kind of have some fun. Let's make a smaller movie. You know, about a character that not many people have ever heard of. Well, I mean, I've heard of him, but not many people have really thought about. Ant-Man's not exactly a particularly big superhero. Like I say, I enjoyed it. It's interesting. It's fun. I like the fact that they hired an actor, Paul Rudd, who is known for comedy. I get tired of superhero movies that are just mean and maudlin and sad and everybody's morose, and Man of Steel, basically. And even when they do that even when it doesn't fit. But this one, it's lighthearted and fun, and I enjoyed it. What I liked is the world that it creates, especially when Scott gets smaller. He creates this wonderful world, of large bathtubs, and at one point he's on a dance floor and he's microscopic, and at one point he's being chased by a giant vacuum cleaner. It's kind of a better version of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and I liked it because it's because of that. There's a fight. His enemy in this film is the Yellow Jacket, and there's a fight in this movie you saw it in the trailer, on a toy train. It's in a girl's bedroom, and when they show you the two characters, it looks like this big giant amusement park. But when they cut it to the other part, which is the bedroom itself, you just see the train going around in circles, and you realize how tiny they are. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I didn't get with the character of Scott Lang. He didn't seem like... I got with the characters of like Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. But this one, Scott Lang, I didn't really see a character there. I was also kind of put off by the fact that they hint at the Wasp, but they don't use her. Evangeline Lilly is there. She's playing Hank Pym's daughter, but she's not used at all. And it's like they introduce her to be a love interest and to hold over for Civil War. But I'm thinking, okay, she's here. Use her. Just go ahead, use her. I didn't really like that. I didn't. I also was a little put off by the plot, which is, like I said, just another. We've got this militarized. We got this secret project, and we're gonna weaponize it and all of this, and it's the same objection I had in Jurassic World. We're gonna take the genetically mutated dinosaurs and we're going to use them as weapons. And it's just like, okay, think of something new. Think of something else. Last time I said in Minions that I would prefer that the end of the movie take them to different planets, different dimensions, different places. I wish this movie had that. I wish this movie had done that too. It just seems like such a canned plot. The movie is interesting. It was fun, but I didn't love it. I didn't love it. I mean, I wouldn't object to probably seeing it again on television, but it seems like a nice day off for the MCU. I like the way the movie is trying to introduce this character into the Avengers continuity, and he does boldly. Toward the middle of the movie, one of the Avengers does show up, and at the end of the movie, two of the Avengers show up. but it's fun. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. I'll be right back to talk about trailers.